again. This is Endless with VGmechanica.com. Thanks for coming back. I'm starting here not because the server's down, but I had a request to go over each of the classes a little more thoroughly. This is a good place to do it. This is that thing I was telling you about earlier where they, please don't forget your friends, your family, your school, or your work. You gotta keep making money to play their game. I mean, no. A little bit of a loading screen to get to the character select. When you get your first 30 days, either from buying the game or getting a buddy pass, it also includes, you can add a couple extra characters. Normally, you only get the extra character slots if you pay another $3 a month, but because I'm still within the initial 30 days, I can play around with them. So when I clicked new, it said saved character creation data detected. Load this data. And what it's talking about is the characters I have created in the past. It will pull up their features. And that way it can have the same result. So I'm going to use the one I went with for my character. Just for some consistently. And I might use parts of this video for another video later. Something else is I'm in Figaro. Figaro is kind of overfull, so it's been taken off the list right now. Limblom's still a good server. As you can see, the more chocobos, the more full the server is. So there's good things and bad things about joining a good server. The good thing is you get a lot of player-made items. The economy is going to be more robust, but you're going to have a lot of competition for the starting zones. So it's definitely up to you what server you want to be on. Also, if you join a full one right away, it might not be open when your friends join later. So that's something to consider. I'm just going to put on Limblom for now just because I don't really intend to play this character. Because I'm just going straight to the jobs. I wonder if anyone took it on this server. Yeah, the name you pick is only your name on a specific server, which is not changed. This doesn't really matter. I'm just going over class. He's a pugilist. Yeah, you start the classes earlier, I believe. So let's see. I'm hoping I can back up from that point. There we go, previous. There we go. Okay, so it's going to pull up the disciples. Disciple of War, Disciple of Magic, Disciple of Land, Disciple of the Hand. I went over this in the first video. But now I'm going to go over it in a little more depth. Disciple of the War is physical attacks. Starting with the Gladiator, which is a sword-based melee fighter. The Marauder is a axe-based melee fighter, two-handed weapons. Pugilist, you've seen me as a pugilist, it's a hand-to-hand fighter. Archer obviously has bow and arrow, and yes, you do have to keep ammo. Lancer is an interesting one. It is another melee one, but he has a lot of abilities similar to the Archer, just without the range. The Archer has abilities which can pin the enemy so they can't rush them. The Lancer has to get up front. It's kind of a glass hammer. You're a lot of DPS, but you don't have much of a tank. Just two magical classes to start with. Conjurer and Thaumaturge. Thaumaturge is kind of a positive negative energy class. They're more of the time-based magic or kind of blood magic. They have one ability which hurts you but heals your team over time. It's kind of a neat one. Helps with tanking. And then the Conjurer is an elemental attack. Which they also get healing, but they're straightforward fireballs, earth attacks, wind attacks. You saw me play that one briefly. You can mix their spells once you've leveled them both up, but they both get, after talking to a quest guy, they both get an initial ability that is unique to their class that allows them to restore their own mana once every like 15 minutes, and it can't be used cross-class. I think with this one it's Tranquility, and I can't remember what it's called with this one, but you'll know it if you join that class. Disciple of the Land is the resource gathering professions. Straightforward, that's a fisherman, the botanist, and the miner. Really is pretty basic. Except the starting outfit's kind of ridiculous. Chop down trees, harvest plants, mine for fish, mine for ore, and really basic. There's lots of disciples of the hand. And while what they do is obvious by their name, they do intertwine. So carpenters wood-based things, obviously. Well, blacksmith makes weapons. But a sword needs a handle. And handles are typically made from wood, so you have to make something or from both classes and combine them. Or you get somebody who's a carpenter to help you if you're a blacksmith. Armor lots of times needs a goldsmith or a weaver. The armor makes armor, goldsmith. They also make armor, make more delicate armor, and they also make accessories which go into making the more elaborate armor. So don't consider it as much as making a finished product as making valuable components to other products. Leatherworker is light armor, boots, things like that. Weaver is cloth armor, clothing, which is actually something that sells, underclothes. Alchemists, which I haven't played with it very much, but they get things like potions and toxins, and I haven't really seen any of that end game, so I'd like to see more of that happening. I think it's something that's hard to level early on. Probably not something you want to start with. Culinarian is food, cook. Food is good. Being well fed with a meal that your character finds agreeable will increase your health regeneration as well as your strength and your magic power. And in other cases, it can increase experience gain depending on what is cooked. So having good food on you is handy. That's the classes. Part 11 had... That's an interesting angle. Part 11 had classes you could get into later after you unlock certain quests. We're thinking this has them as well. They haven't outright announced them, but they've hinted at them through item descriptions. Things like Musketeer, which I kind of dwell on because I like the idea of a steampunk gun worker, and then also put spells on it and be a gun mage, haha. Where am I? Background noise means I'm out in the jungle. What else? Ooh, there's a couple changes that were announced in the news that are coming up. It probably won't be implemented by tomorrow, which is the general release, which will have already happened by the time this video is posted. But they're pretty cool nonetheless, or the specific one is. It looks like while they're probably going to implement a Bazaar auction house system eventually, they did not plan on it initially like we were hoping. What they're going to do that be easy for them to help us is the market wards. They're going to name each ward after an item type to help people shift their retainers into the proper place and help players more easily find what they're after. They're going to incentivize it by reducing the tax rate of the bazaar if your retainer is in the correct zone, which would be handy. So I was out here leveling up, which just difficult at my point. I need to find out what the marmots are weak against. I can look that up later. Yes, I did say marmots. There's some tough marmots out here that give good experience. None of my friends are online. Oops. Jungle is a bit of a maze. I know I've gone over the map before, but we'll go over it again. Whee! You'll see little towns like this. As far as I can tell, they're just full of NPCs that don't do anything. You may get quests later that tell you to go there, but as far as exploring, they don't do much. These work just like our normal crystals, except you can't do quests there, but you can go out there and, well, you can do quests there, but they're more specific quests. Something that's cool about them is they give you the ability to teleport from them to another crystal at a reduced cost. So you can teleport around the zones a little more easily. So I've kind of figured out the zoning. There's no straightforward zone. Kill this marmot. In terms of where certain levels can go safely. But the further away you get from your starting town, the more difficult the mobs. And if you deviate from the road a lot, like you'll see some... Let me kill this and I'll show you the map again. I've got this cool ability called Guard and Phalanx. Whenever it says I block an attack with my shield, so I partially block an attack, I can do... Oh, I just did Red Lotus. I can do Phalanx. It's just a cheaper special attack. See if I can get it to attack me. Oh, nope, I killed it. Doesn't give me a lot of experience, but it did give me some loot. Crystals are the... You'll get them pretty much from everything you kill, crystals and shards. They're the base ingredient to all crafting. It's kind of like... I don't know, it's what powers the crafting. So, fire crystals for cooking, things like that. You might even say the catalyst. Okay, I got the map up, let's show you. So if you deviate into what appears to be kind of a separate section that's cordoned off a little bit from the road, the difficulty goes up quite a bit. You'll find mobs that are much more advanced. And usually you'll see one of the, they call them ethereal gates, or what they call them, nearby. So for a little later game grinding, those are where you'll probably end up. Onion hats. Oh, I went up again. Tricks me every time. As you can see, I got my shield. I guess that's evident when I was doing the guard. It's just a maple shield. I found it in the wards. Got lucky. Can't mess with them yet. Oh, I did definitively look up the colors for this. So blue means it's an easy challenge. The colors are not completely functional. So, because me and a group went up against one of these guys, which was blue to us, and it just smoked us. Green is a worthy challenge, orange is difficult, and red is dangerous. So really try to focus on going on blue and green stuff, or maybe a little bit of orange, if you think you're fit for it. Otherwise, blue and green. Running out of anima. That said, I haven't really been conserving it very well. It's why I'm running right now. The refresh rate on anima is so slow. One back every 4 hours. 800 hours to go back from 0 to 200. Which is like a month. Maybe more. Days. Yeah, it's more than a month, I think. Should probably have that memorized. Hours in a month. Yeah, there'd be 720 hours in a 30-day month. So more than a month to go from 0 to 200. So conserve your anima. Learn to run places. Of course, at level 20 you do get chocobo access, in theory. I don't know this because I am yet to be level 20. Ooh, I want to kill dodos, but they'll gank me. I might try again after I hit the closest crystal, so I don't die and spawn too far away. Burning Wall has fire drakes. Not so good. Pardon me while I kill this marmot. Your shield only stays up for a small amount of time. You'll see your character say he drops his shield arm. Presumably the shield is not light, so it takes stamina to keep picking it up. See, my shield arm fell, so I didn't block that one, so I can't use the... I partially parried it that time. So I partially blocked that one, which means I can use my phalanx. And he's going to evade it, even before the animation. Now I'm going to dry my Red Lotus. Nice. At level 10, the Gladiator gets an ability called Provoke, which makes them indispensable for groups as they can take aggro and then tank while everyone else heals them and then does DPS. Damage per second. So while they don't do as much damage as the Marauder or the Lancer, they can take a bigger beating, especially with a sword. And I think... I'm trying to think. Yeah, they're the only weapon combat that uses a one-handed weapon. Pugilists, hands or two hands. So I think they're the only class that can equip a sword that isn't a mage. I do recommend if you go Thaumaturge or Conjurer that you get the one-handed staff. I think the Thaumaturge gets a rod anyway, so that's one-handed. And then equip the shield. Keep you alive longer. And you can cast while behind the shield, so it doesn't mess you up. That killing that thing gave me a lot of points here. 49 and 126 shield points. 298 experience, which seems like a lot until you realize I'd have to kill, what, almost 30 more of them to level. Which wouldn't be so hard, but they need to increase the spawn rate of mobs. Because every time you find a creature, there's someone else going after it. I know it's not as fun to watch the battles, but because you do have to use a bit of tactics, it is a lot of fun to actually be in it. I'm having to constantly keep my shield up and react when it hits me if I block so I can get my phalanx out. I gotta time it. Yeah, getting a lot of experience. Gotta love second wind. Best reason to level up Pugilist to 6. I find that the first 10 or so levels are relatively quick to level up. After that, it takes a lot more time. No, I haven't touched the pistol yet. I might actually change classes and go back to the beginning grinding area. I should have a bunch of fresh leaf quests too, so I can do a bunch of early quests. I wonder what she has to sell. Oh, it stops me from moving. Guess there's no range once the window's open. Lumber. No, thank you. Oh, we've turned on depth of field. What that does is it blurs the things that are farther away. Gives it kind of a filmy look. As if it was a real camera. What's that crystal? There it is. Ooh, he's green. Should be more difficult. Put my shield up. It blocked, so I'm gonna hit him. Oh, I parried it. You actually have to actually block it. Again, so I can do it twice. And I got him again, so I can do it a third time. It does take TP, but it takes way less than other attacks. So I gotta put my arm back up. Man, when you can combo it in like that, it works pretty well. What they end up getting is guys that miss or don't attack very often. Keep forgetting I have Red Lotus. Not bad at all. The shield does gain its own skill points. I don't think there's any abilities from shield until rank 10, but it's good that they're there. Resist. It's going to take too many of them to level, and that's not what I'm doing on the video. Grinding is a necessary part of this game. It is kind of time consuming, but it's a necessary part of any MMORPG. It's not very difficult when everybody isn't online. It's a day before general release. So, whoops, wrong button. Party. So I want to see how many people on the server. 1,600. Not as much as release day, where it had 3,000, but should be seeing more. I don't know if this server will be open tomorrow on release day, because as you saw, there are a lot of servers that still have a lot of room in them, a whole nother chocobo. So now I'm linked to this one. And they'll want to fill those before they reopen these ones that are pretty full. That was a little delayed. As for which city to start in, your starting city dictates your storyline quest. You've seen the ones I've done, and that's all for Ul'dah. But if you start another city, you get a whole different storyline. Also, I find Ul'dah is an easier city to get around. You've seen me in the other cities, and while they're not necessarily difficult to get around, they are a little maze-like. You have to deal with upper and lower levels a lot. That said, I still hope they increase the population of monsters. The area should be crawling with them. What's amusing about running to Camp Drybone is you pass these giant ant things, and you've seen them one-shot kill me. So they're too tough for a level 10 when you're on your way to a level 10 quest. It's an interesting challenge. Lancer doing this thing. I like first-person mode. I wish they gave the option for bouncing, like you're walking. And I wish the movement was a little more smooth. But I'm just picky. Whoa, Antling Digger. It's gonna kill me again. Crap. No! Maybe they won't aggro me. Oh god. See, I do that. I wasn't paying attention. Now they're everywhere. God, they sound awful. Antling diggers. I keep wanting to call them antlings. Oh! Ooh! Don't mess with the antlings. See, I was talking about them, and yet when I get to them, I forgot to go wide around them. I serve as a warning. Alright, we're gonna return. It's a little delay thing that happens here when you respawn. Is you respawn before you teleport. So you're still there, and people can see you're still there until after you get up sometimes. Of course, I've had the opposite happen, and I've teleported before I've respawned, so I've kind of sat there not able to do anything. I'm gonna teleport. Don't recommend using your teleport so often. But I'm impatient. So I've come here to do the next storyline quest, which I think is at the Thaumaturge Guild. Oh, I want to check something on here. Okay, so your Guardian Favor does refresh. I haven't done a leave quest in about a day, maybe 2, so I have gotten more Guardian Favor. That's good. So it's daytime. Gonna bring up the map. I don't know why I mentioned it was daytime, it's kind of obvious. We're gonna go here and hope that's where we need to go. Otherwise, I might go to the lower level. I'm not as familiar with it, but it's not hard to get to. There's an elevator and then there's some stairs. You can kind of see it through the map. Did learn my lesson about first person last time. Not that there's anything here that could kill me. A little bit of lag. Here's a desk, and usually somebody at the desk initiates. Not them. NPCs here. Alright, let's check the journal and see what it says. Fronsdale Fontistery. Fronsdale Fontistery. So I'm in the wrong spot. Let's do a little map hunting. There it is. Okay, it is on the lower floor. Alchemist Guild. See, I think I can manage both at once. Except the map doesn't scroll with you, so you kind of have to hit the scroll buttons. Opaque map is opaque. Oh, hey, it actually scrolled. Oh, turn around. Okay, I don't think I did the map now. Jewelry. See, I don't come up here so often because there really isn't as much here to do that I've noticed. I just need to turn straight left. Find someone to talk to that isn't a player. Here we go. There's always a guy on the far left. Haha, see? Another cutscene means it's storyline. He's thinking very hard about that feather. I guess it's also the hospital. Okay. Apparently I missed exactly what he said. Okay. Far end of what? Okay, so apparently I can zone. More cutscenes. I wonder if it would have changed if I had leveled up alchemy before. Survey the sick rooms. Slow-witted miner. Doors. So is he? Does he worry, or do you have to worry about him? Apparently something's going on there, and they don't want to believe it. It's hard to tell what I can go through with the minimap. Or lack thereof. Well-washed leech. More teleporting. There's her father. Hey, and he did come after all. Uh-oh. Wow, he died. He was in the intro video. Holy crud. 1.5 million gil. Capitalism at work. Link pearl. Ooh, she's gonna give me something at the quicksand. Let's go see what it is, if we can find our way out of here. Ha! Sorry about that. Let's see. One of these days they're just going to trap me in a room forever. You're worrisome. This is where I came in, yep. So back to Momodi at the Quicksand, which is the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Not a far run. Let me out! I do have a suspicion that system specs do allow things like that to load faster. It isn't entirely server side. I'm not certain, but I've just walked with people and they were able to go through a door even though they got there at the same time. I don't know though. And they were seeing vendors and stuff before me. Where am I? Oops. Emotes. Oh, I see. Oh, that's fun. I think I've actually been down there. Oh, that's, yeah. That's very cool, actually. See, the level designers probably had a lot of fun building this place. High dynamic range lighting. That means it kind of means your eyes adjust when you go out from the dark to the light. It also means that if I look in there, it's very dim, where before it looked fine. That's just a software feature, because I'm kind of a game nerd. Thus my name. Alright, Momodi, where are you? Nope. Nope. No. I wonder what's going on there. Oh, I can summon my retainer here? That's cool. Somebody is not proving easy to find. Helps when everybody loads. Oh, come on. Not from you, apparently. There she is. Okay. Gonna have to memorize that location. She took forever to load. Alright, we'll do quest. Maybe go buy a helmet. Actually, I think I'm going to buy the starting gear for other classes so I can go over them in future videos. So I finished that. Is there another one? Ah, golden sacrifices. Loading. Must be a very exciting cutscene. Aww. Let me load that entire area just to do a quick glimpse of it. I think he's a bard. Bard is one of the classes on that list I was telling you about. It's not a starting class. I've entered an instance. Platinum Mirage. Alright, I'm supposed to go to the Platinum Mirage. We have hit the hour mark, more or less. So I'm going to end it here. I'm going to do another video later. I'll see you guys later.